Hello everyone and welcome to F1 2017, where today we'll be doing a last to first challenge here with Max Verstappen at the Canadian Grand Prix. Why Max Verstappen? Well, let's be honest, he's been mistake prone in F1 2018 so far in real life. Well, there's only one person who can do it for really, and I missed the boat with Monaco, but this is the circuit that's likely going to catch Max out if he carries on with his current form. Anyway, if nothing else, it's going to be a bit of fun. So, don't take this as a personal slight on Max. Obviously don't, but it'll be alright. It may be a bit clickbaity that we're doing with Max, but whatever. We'll gloss over whether it's clickbait or not as we now head towards the strategy. It's going to be raining about halfway through this race. We're going to go on options and wait until the rain comes. We're unlikely to need primes or qualies, so you can ignore the fact that they're primes. We'll be going straight to inters. But anyway, here is the race start now. And it is going at the circuit Jules Villeneuve, and we actually get quite a good launch there. That's already Ericsson off the line as we now head down towards turn 1. Dive bombing the field as per with AI up to P30 now. Go around the outside of Carlos Sainz Jr. Can't quite make it, so we get a warning for a collision with him for the reason. Boo-hoo game. Okay, now here we are into the first of the many chicanes here at this track. That's our lovely jubbly. As we now head through 5 and now into 6, which is the beginning of the second chicane. We think about having to dive on Alonso, but that was never going to happen. So we're just going to have to sail behind, unlike Max in real life. And now as we head down towards turn 8, as we're now about to go under the bridge, here we go, hard on the brakes. Getting a little bit of understeer in the dirt here. I'm probably braking a little bit too deep. And ended up just avoiding the barrier 3-9 if we didn't actually hit it already. Now into turn 10, which is the hairpin, and we dive bomb Alonso. We can do that because there's no DRS yet, so we can take the risk without Alonso trying to respond. But nonetheless, here we are as we go through 11 now. And our next target is going to be Nico Hülkenberg, and that's going to be a point already as we come towards the end of lap 1. This is going swimmingly so far. Here we are into the final chicane, avoiding the wall of champions. Perez, for some reason, had a bit of an incident. I've no idea what's gone on there. We'll have the replay later on. Anyway, it's the end of lap 1 and into P10. That's temperatures gained on the first lap. Going swimmingly well to say we're on the harder tyre right now. And that's a steal, Nico Hülkenberg, and that's going to be P9 for us. This is going swimmingly well. This almost should have been a back to 5 lap challenge, but it is not, guys. So, what are you going to do? Okay, we get an exceeding track limits because, you know, Canada is so easy to conquer. I don't get me wrong, I love this circuit. It's my favourite circuit after Silverstone. Oh, that's just me being a biased Brit. I'm not even going to lie. This is actually my favourite circuit. It's just so much fun, but my gosh, it's so easy to conquer. You've got to be very precise with your lines, because if you go slightly wrong, well, you're going to be picking up a lot of warnings, and that's just through pure accident. Yeah, I'm rambling on a bit because we're not actually quite on Grosjean's tail so far, but a bit of deep braking into 10 will cure that. Oh, we V off the corner a bit. We lose traction on exit compared to Grosjean. Time, whatever. Well, whatever we've lost, we're going to be in a slip street now. We'll be able to overtake the Haas without running these spots setup. So we have got a 1 front wing. They'll be able to help us as we now consider having to dive into the chicane. But no, it's a safety car. What's going on here? As you can see, Daniel Ricciardo has retired. He is crashing to the World of Champions, which is perhaps our future sign of the future. I have no idea. But he certainly isn't a world champion at the moment. This can only bode well. Oh, and Ocon's got an engine failure too! It's all happening here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Okay, let's have some replays. So first up, it's going to be Sergio Perez with his incident with Felipe Massa, as it turns out, with what caused him to have a little bit of an issue. Yes, he gets tagged, he gets slightly half-spun, then he has contact with Hülkenberg, and then we managed to be the last guy to pass him. Lovely jubbly. Now for Ricciardo's retirement. It turns out he was fighting Bottas. He locks up. Bottas barges him into the wall. That's a bit cruel. Sorry, that's a bit harsh. Now it's Ocon's engine failure, and it just simply blows. Shortly after Ricciardo's retirement. So, yes, it's all happening. Then something weird happened during the safety car period. Look at what Carlos Sainz Jr. does. He actually smacks the safety car in its left rear. And if you have a replay, you actually see that the safety car sort of turns into the racing line. That is just bizarre. What can I say about that? But anyway, during this safety car, we make a bit of a strategy play, if you want an Americanism, since we're in North America. And we decided, because it's actually starting to rain now, as you may have noticed, I actually forgot to mention that it's starting to rain. It's raining very early, I must say, so it's lap 3. So it's predicted to come out halfway through, so options to inters. And that's going to be good. We also know Alonso behind us. He's actually stopping as well. As you can see, the McLaren guys are out in the pit lane. I think he actually had a minor crash with the safety car itself or whatever. But strangely enough, the safety car was coming straight in. It was going to be a very short safety car to say Ricciardo was pretty much close to the racing line. So, as you can just tell, he's just not ready for Inter. So for us, this is not necessarily going to be a good thing. Because, well, we kind of need one more lap for this to work, for us to actually catch the gaggle and for us to basically have gained a free pit stop in an almost literal sense. But anyway, here we are. We're going to go back to green now through the final chicane. We just about caught the gaggle. So, you know, it isn't too bad. We're only about a second and a half away from the Saubers. And here we are. We are green once more for the Canadian Grand Prix. We head on to lap 5 now. This will be the lap that decides if we've made a good strategy call or a bad strategy call. So it turns out we're already starting to catch the gaggle. Is that just free bunching and we've got a clear track ahead of us, so to speak? Or are the Inters actually finally starting to come in? We're actually starting to catch the gaggle, actually. This is working out quite well. So we're already now on the back of Verline as we now head through 5. Will we consider have a look into him for 6? Yes! We're actually coming from quite far back. He's on qualifying tyres. We're on the Inters. We actually want to go around the outside of 7. And you've never seen him overtake on the outside of turn 7 at the Canadian Grand Prix. That just never happens. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve just doesn't have it. Or around the outside overtakes, apart from maybe turn 2 or turn 10 if something weird happens. So, it's all happening. So yes, maybe we have made the right call, but we have lost time to Ericsson. Is that just rebattling Verline? Heavy rain in 10 minutes, Jeff just said. I'm sorry for talking over him. But yeah, it feels like it looks like it's time. We've caught Ericsson through the braking zone, and now we're going to get him on part. Oh, we actually have to slide away because Ericsson was so slow that I actually had to react to the fact that I was catching and was going to about to hit him. That's how much more traction we've got. This appears to be the right call, actually. It appears we've sweetly timed everything. Safety car hasn't actually played out that badly since the rain is actually coming down a bit heavier than one may expect. And yes, that's a lovely job. Everyone's now in the pit. The pits are going to be jumping everyone that's made that makes a pit stop. And yes, looks like we're going to be in the pound seat. But will we be? Anyway, through 2 now. Our next tag is going to be Kevin Magnussen. This is going to be a good comparison because the Haas is actually quite a quick car. So if we can pass this quite easily, we know we're on the right tyres. We gingerly take the first chicane as we now head through 5. We go around the outside just in case. And yes, we managed to dive bomb him and Stroll into 6. Yes, it's plenty of time for Inters now. That has got to be the case. If we dive bomb Stroll from way back, I know we're taking Magnussen at the same time. So now we're up to P4. Looks like I'm going to be in the net lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Considering everyone's going to be having to make stops and stuff, unless someone's going to be brave and try and hand it out and hope that the heavy rain doesn't come. And anyway, we're going to be now heading down towards turn 10 as Julian Palmer is our next target. He's 1.2 ahead at the sector 2 line. But let's be honest, we've just got so much more traction coming out of 10 that we're going to easily breeze by him. That's just pure traction. It means we've got the same power unit, so that's just traction. Pure and simple traction. It's just the right tyre to be on the intermediate. Turns out we probably went a bit early, but the safety car has actually played into our hands and allowed us to make a strategy call to make this last the first challenge easy. As you can see now, Bottas and Vettel in the pits, and that's us in P1. So the question will be now, what's the gap to everyone behind? Hamilton's going to be the one to cut the beam at start finish line, and he is 6 seconds, just slightly over, behind us. So what can he do? Bear in mind, we're going to have the oldest Inters of them all. What can he do on that first lap? We only did a 25-1, which was a slow lap. And Hamilton manages to cut the gap to 4.6. So he takes 1.4 out of us in that lap. That's not very good. Now on to lap 9. How much time did he take out of us lap? We actually did a better lap that time. It's 4.779, so we actually gained 1/10 on that lap. That was all swimmingly jubbly and everything, so that's good news. It turns out that we're starting to find the pace now. We just moved the brake bias slightly back. I don't know if I've already done that, but I've just noticed it. We moved the brake bias slightly back to prevent front locking, and it appears to be working because we set another good lap time of 22.9. And the gap to Hamilton will now be 5.7, which means we get an entire second on the lap, so that's very good.
Conditions look pretty terrible, but that water is draining away. I think the intermediate is going to stay the tyre of choice for a while yet.
Jeff has got confidence in our tyre choice. We get a second warning for track limit, so we're going to have to be careful there. Same corner again now we cut the first time. And thank you, Jeff, for confirming that we're a second lap quicker than Hamilton already works it out, but thank you anyway. It's always good to know that you are feeding back to us at all times. Anyway, that was a scrappy lap. We do a 24 24, is that 24 flat? I can't read that on my previous screen, but we keep the gap stable at 5.7. So maybe the track is getting wetter, and this is just the pace of the track. Pace of the track or not, though, we're making an error through the third chicane. That's just annoying, isn't it? Well.
We could see the rain getting worse in around 5 minutes. Heavy rain on its way.
So the rains are coming, they are coming, they are coming. And as we've gone to lap 13, we make the same mistake again, and this does cost us some time. I have to be honest, in the overall race, yes, the track was a little bit tricky, and I was making an occasional mistake, but I was keeping that gap stable to Hamilton between 5 and 6 seconds. I wasn't being really troubled, but now the heavy rains have come on lap 15. I'm not bothering showing the gap every lap, simply because it'd be pointless just boring watching me have a time trial with Hamilton essentially at the moment. So yes, the track was actually still feeling quite good. We were still doing 24s. It certainly isn't quick, but you know, it's not that bad. You can see the grip's tricky. I'm having to take slightly different lines, partly through error and partly through trying to search for other grip. Anyway, as we go to the final lap now, we're still doing good times. Late 23s, that's not bad, is it? Late 23s, I'll take that, certainly this deep into the Grand Prix. Hamilton's still the rough assembly distance behind as he was before. But yes, guys, that's going to be the Canadian Grand Prix. Last the first challenge, done.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
So guys, that was easier than expected, winning by 6 seconds. Thank you very much for watching, guys, anyway. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully next time we'll have a little bit more of a challenge when we do one of these last to first. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.